For millions of years, the Valorian expanse had only one name, the Graveyard of Stars. It contained dying suns, unstable gravity wells, and radiation storms powerful enough to tear ordinary ships apart. No civilization claimed it. No military patrolled it. Even pirates refused to enter. The Galactic Council marked the entire region with a simple warning: travel prohibited. Naturally, humanity became interested. Captain Lena Brooks led the first human survey mission into the expanse. Her ship, the Endless Horizon, was designed to survive places no sensible captain would visit. As the vessel crossed the boundary, every alien escort ship stopped. One alien commander opened a channel. "Human vessel, turn back. The region ahead offers nothing but death." Lena studied the dying pulsar glowing before her, then smiled. "That's not what our engineers see." Behind her, Chief Engineer Marcus Reed enlarged the holographic map. The pulsar's gravity created a perfect circular corridor around the star, a natural track, incredibly fast, dangerous beyond reason. Marcus stared at the calculation, then quietly said, "If we stabilize the outer orbit, we could ride that gravity wave." The bridge became silent. Lena slowly turned toward him. "You're suggesting a scientific test?" Marcus grinned. "I'm suggesting the fastest roller coaster in history." Construction began immediately. The Galactic Council officially declared humanity completely insane. No civilization had ever attempted to build anything near a dying pulsar. Human engineers called it Project Starfall. For 6 months, thousands of construction drones worked without rest. Gigantic stabilizers were anchored to nearby asteroids. Gravity regulators were installed along the pulsar's orbit. And at the center of it all, humanity built the impossible. A roller coaster not around a mountain, not around a planet, around a dying star. When the first test ride was announced, every major news network in the galaxy broadcasted it live. Captain Lena Brooks stood beside the launch platform. "Any final safety concerns?" Chief Engineer Marcus Reed checked his display. "Only several hundred." "Excellent." The launch countdown began. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The coaster accelerated. Within seconds, it reached speeds no amusement ride had ever achieved. The passengers screamed as the pulsar's gravity pulled them through glowing tunnels of cosmic light. The ride lasted only 90 seconds. It felt like crossing eternity at the finish line. Silence. Then, the first alien passenger stepped out. His species had evolved without emotions. For 3,000 years, they had never recorded a single instance of laughter. He looked at the humans, then quietly said, "Can I ride again?" The entire galaxy erupted. Reservations exceeded 10 billion requests within 24 hours. Hotels appeared. Restaurants opened. Tourism exploded. The Graveyard of Stars had become the galaxy's happiest destination. And humanity was only getting started because Chief Engineer Marcus had just revealed his next project, a zero-gravity water park inside a black hole's outer event horizon. The galaxy assumed humanity had finally reached its limit. They were wrong. 3 months after the success of Project Starfall, Chief Engineer Marcus Reed unveiled his next attraction. Its official name was Event Horizon Splash Park. The Galactic Council immediately rejected the proposal. Building a water park beside a black hole is impossible. Marcus smiled. That's what you said about the Rollercoaster. Construction began on the outer edge of a dormant black hole. Human engineers developed the most advanced gravity stabilizers ever created. The result was breathtaking. Massive transparent slides twisted through space. Artificial oceans floated inside containment fields. Entire sections of the park experienced different levels of gravity. Visitors could dive from one attraction and emerge in another without ever touching the ground. On opening day, representatives from hundreds of alien civilizations arrived. Most expected a disaster. Instead, they found children laughing while floating beside one of the most terrifying objects in existence. Captain Lena Brooks watched from the observation deck. "Do you ever think we're taking this too far?" Marcus laughed. "We're humans. Taking things too far is practically a cultural tradition." Then came the park's most popular attraction, the event drop, a controlled free fall toward the black hole's outer boundary. For exactly 3 seconds, passengers experienced extreme time dilation. Some riders returned, claiming they had seen entire lifetimes. Others insisted they heard music coming from the stars themselves. Scientists demanded explanations. Humanity sold souvenir photos. Within a year, the Graveyard of Stars had become the center of galactic tourism, and yet Marcus was already working on his next attraction. When reporters asked what it was, he simply pointed toward a nearby nebula and said, "Tell me, has anyone ever been to a concert inside a supernova?" By the year RE62, the Graveyard of Stars welcomed over 200 billion visitors annually. Alien historians still couldn't believe it. For millions of years, their ancestors had feared this region. Humanity had turned it into a vacation destination. Then, Marcus Reed announced his most ambitious project yet. A concert, not on a planet, not aboard a station, inside a supernova. The Galactic Council nearly collapsed. "You cannot perform music inside an exploding star." Marcus shrugged. "We're not performing inside it." He smiled. "We're performing beside it." Construction began immediately. Gigantic sound field generators were deployed across the nebula. Advanced resonance systems translated music directly into light. For the first time in history, an audience wouldn't just hear the performance. They would see it. Across entire star systems, opening night arrived. More than 50 billion beings tuned in. As the first notes played, the supernova reacted. Shock waves of blue and gold light spread across space. Entire galaxies appeared to dance. Even the oldest alien civilizations watched in silence. One ancient ambassador quietly whispered, "For 10 million years, we believed the universe was cold." He looked toward the human stage. "We never considered that it might simply be waiting for music." Then, something unexpected happened. Long-range observatories detected signals beyond known space. Someone, or something, was listening. A transmission arrived moments later. Its origin was impossible to determine. The message contained only 6 words. "Save us seats for the next show." The entire galaxy fell silent. Humanity wasn't just entertaining the Milky Way anymore. Apparently, the universe had been watching too, and somewhere beyond the stars, new guests were already on their way. The message spread across the galaxy within hours. Save us seats for the next show. No coordinates. No known language. Yet somehow, every civilization understood it perfectly. For the first time in recorded history, the Galactic Council wasn't preparing for war. They were preparing for visitors. 3 weeks later, long-range observatories detected something impossible. Hundreds of massive objects appeared beyond the edge of known space. They weren't ships. They were cities. Entire civilizations traveling together. The oldest astronomers immediately recognized the energy signatures. Impossible. Those species disappeared before our stars were born. The approaching visitors had not come from another galaxy. They had come from somewhere outside the universe itself. Panic spread through the Galactic Council. Emergency sessions were called. Military fleets mobilized. Captain Leanoff Brooks simply sighed. "Please tell me they're not invading." Marcus Reed looked up from his blueprints. "I hope not. I'm still trying to finish the souvenir shop." The first extra-dimensional vessel entered the Milky Way. Its size eclipsed entire solar systems. A transmission immediately followed. "We have traveled for 14 billion years. We heard the music, we saw the lights, and we wish to experience the roller coaster." Silence. Absolute silence. The Galactic Council couldn't believe it. The first visitors from beyond existence had come for a vacation. Hours later, the oldest being in the universe exited the vessel. It looked toward the glowing amusement park surrounding the dying pulsar, then quietly asked, "Is the fast pass worth the extra credits?" Marcus smiled. "Trust me, it's absolutely worth it." And just like that, humanity achieved something no civilization had ever imagined. They didn't unite the galaxy through power. They didn't unite it through war. They united it by building the greatest amusement park in existence. But humanity still had one final project left. Because if beings beyond the universe were coming to visit, then it was finally time to build a hotel at the end of time itself. The galaxy thought humanity had finally run out of ideas. They were wrong. 3 days after welcoming visitors from beyond the universe, Marcus Reed unveiled his newest project. Its name appeared simultaneously across every known star system. The Last Horizon Hotel. The slogan beneath it read, "Check in once. Watch eternity." The Galactic Council immediately demanded an explanation. Marcus happily provided one. "We're building a hotel at the end of time." Silence followed. Scientists argued for weeks. The end of time isn't a location. It isn't even accessible. Marcus nodded. "Correct. That's why it'll be our most expensive destination." Construction began near a naturally occurring temporal anomaly, discovered beyond the Andromeda Rift. Inside the anomaly, time behaved differently. Guests could observe the entire life cycle of distant stars. In minutes, entire civilizations rose and fell before Breakfast One observation deck became particularly famous. It offered visitors the opportunity to witness the final moments of the universe itself. Opening night exceeded all expectations. Extra-dimensional beings arrived first, then ancient alien empires, then tourists from over 8,000 galaxies. Every room was fully booked within 17 seconds. Captain Lena Brooks stood beside Marcus on the central balcony. "Do you ever wonder if we've gone too far?" Marcus thought for a moment, then smiled. "Not really. I still think the roller coaster was crazier." Then, at exactly midnight, every light inside the hotel dimmed. A new guest had arrived. No ship, no portal. It simply appeared. The concierge slowly looked up. "Welcome to the Last Horizon Hotel." The figure smiled. "Thank you. I have been trying to visit for the next 14 billion years." The room became silent. Marcus blinked. "I'm sorry. Did you just say the next 14 billion years?" The mysterious guest smiled again. "Of course. I'm from humanity's future." The lobby of the Last Horizon Hotel became completely silent. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. The mysterious traveler stood calmly beneath the chandelier of artificial stars. Captain Lena Brooks slowly stepped forward. "You said you're from humanity's future?" The stranger nodded. "Yes. Approximately 14 billion years from your perspective." Marcus Reed nearly dropped his coffee. "That's impossible." The traveler smiled. "That stopped being true a very long time ago." He introduced himself simply as Elias. No last name, no title, just Elias. His clothing shimmered with impossible patterns. Entire galaxies seemed to move beneath the surface of his silver armor. One young alien quietly whispered, "He's carrying a temporal field." Another scientist stared at his instruments. "Not just a temporal field. His existence is older than our universe." Marcus finally asked the question everyone feared. "Why are you here?" Elias looked through the observation window. Beyond it, the universe slowly approached its final moments. "I've always wanted to visit. Every human child in my era learns about this place." Captain Lena frowned. "This hotel?" Elias laughed softly. "No." He pointed toward the stars. "You?" Silence. "What do you mean?" Elias smiled. "You are the generation that changed everything. You built joy where others found fear. You taught the galaxy that existence wasn't merely something to survive. It was something to celebrate." The entire room fell silent. Then Elias reached into his pocket. He placed an old, slightly worn ticket onto the counter. Printed across its surface were the words, "Starfall Rollercoaster, Opening Day." Marcus stared at the ticket. "You kept this for 14 billion years." Elias smiled. "Of course. It was the greatest day in human history." Then his expression changed. "I only wish I had arrived under better circumstances." Captain Lena's smile disappeared. "What happened?" Elias slowly looked toward the dying stars and quietly said the words no one in the hotel was prepared to hear. "Because in exactly 72 hours, the universe will begin to end." The hotel fell silent. 72 hours. That was all the universe had left. No ancient prophecy had predicted it. No guardian had foreseen it. The end of existence itself had finally arrived. Elias looked toward the stars. "In my time, We spent 14 billion years searching for a solution. And we failed, Marcus Reed quietly asked. So that's it? The universe just ends? Elias smiled sadly. Every civilization eventually accepted the same truth. Except one. He looked directly at Marcus. Humanity. Within hours, a message spread across existence. Every species, every galaxy, every visitor, beyond reality itself, received the same transmission. Attention, everyone. Humanity has a plan. The entire universe stopped to listen. Captain Lena Brooks stood before the largest fleet ever assembled. We've spent our entire history doing one thing, fixing things that everyone else believed were beyond repair. She smiled. So let's fix the universe. Human engineers worked beside alien scientists. Extra-dimensional beings donated energy, older than time itself. The void between galaxies illuminated with billions of ships. Together, they built the greatest machine ever conceived, the cosmic engine. Its purpose was simple, not to stop the end, but to give the universe one more beginning. As the final stars faded, Marcus Reed placed his hand on the activation console. Ready? Elias smiled. I've waited 14 billion years to answer that question. The engine activated. Golden light spread across existence. Dying stars reignited. Galaxies bloomed once more. And for the very first time, the universe did something no one believed possible. It began again. Elias slowly disappeared. His timeline no longer existed. Before fading completely, he smiled. I told you, humanity doesn't conquer impossible problems. We adopt them. From that day forward, every civilization taught the same lesson. The universe did not survive because humanity was the strongest. It survived because when existence itself finally broke, humanity treated it like one more thing that needed fixing. The end. The stars may one day fade, but humanity's greatest strength has never been power. It's the belief that nothing is beyond repair. If you enjoyed this HFY adventure, subscribe to Irongeist HFY. Leave a like and tell us in the comments. If the universe had only 72 hours left, what would you do? Until next time, keep reaching for the impossible.